Hello and welcome back to the Devon Nature Garden. Now, I was going to do it weekly and I have done some video, but it's the 12th of February today, and so I'm going to mash together the footage from last weekend and this weekend, and I thought I'd give you an update on how the feeders are doing. But what I'll do first is we'll go back and let's go back to last weekend where I went through some bits and pieces, and I've also moved the feeders about a bit so that they're not in exactly the same place, and I'll go through why we did that as well. Right, so here we are, a week in, and as you can see, quite a few have been eaten. I'll go closer in a minute and give you a show, but we have had a bit of a, not so much a problem, but unfortunately here we've had a blackbird. So the only ones it's been able to get to are these dawn chorus ones at the top here. So those are going down quite rapidly. So what I'm going to try and do is move these around a bit so that they're further away from this, and I'm going to swap them all around as well. So in that way it's a bit fairer, so the birds should then have to look to where they're going rather than coming straight back to it. We've had black caps, blue tits, great tits, the house sparrows, the blackbird. So yeah, we've had quite a bit of a variety, and the best thing is long-tailed tits. We've had 5 or 6 of them coming here daily so far. So yeah, we're a week in and we'll quickly run through and have a look and see what we've got. Okay, so let's do this first. These ones are the harvest ones, which have had something nibbling them. The bottom ones are the RSPB ones, and those are the ones that seem to go for the long-tailed tits, which is good. This one here, you've got B&Q Verve, haven't been touched, but the bottoms are the Johnson and Jeff berry ones. As you can see, they've been nibbled on, the blue tits and the great tits, and what else was it? The long-tailed tits were on those as well. This one is number 3 green, which is the Johnson and Jeff Superior at the top, and the Armitage ones at the bottom. So again, most of these have had something that's been nibbling on them. Now here we go, the Blackbird Special at the top. So those are the Dawn Chorus ones, and the bottoms are the Peckish. Now I have looked, and the Blackbird couldn't get hold of those, but the Peckish do seem to be doing rather well. I know that I've seen coal tits and the great tits and the long-tailed tits on those. For some reason they're not touching the bottom one as much, but it doesn't really matter. Right, here we've got bronze number 1, bronze number 2, sorry, which those are the blue diamonds, not been touched at all, and the bottoms seem to be the Glenwoods, the cheaper ones, but again, nothing's touched those. Onto, this is the green plastic number 1, those are the Guardman at the top. Again, not many been eaten, and those are the Armitage, blackcurrant and apple on the bottom. Again, may have been a little bit of a nibble here, but nothing major. So these are the mealworm ones. They're Tom somebody, I can't remember the name. They've been slightly eaten down the bottom. Again, I still can't see no mealworms. And the ones that I thought looked the best, which were the Finchleys, haven't been touched. So there you go. Right, I shall just muddle them all about a bit, and I'll come back to you in a sec. Well, there you go, I've moved them about a bit. Who knows whether that will make any difference, but we shall come back next week. We'll do this every weekend. So yeah, fingers crossed this test was okay. I may try and get another bracket so that this one is off the loop. I've pushed this one back a bit. This one here, I can't go too far over because otherwise that's pushing that way. But hopefully that's far enough away. This one hasn't been touched yet, so if the blackbird can lean over and get it, we'll know. So I'm going to leave all those as they are. They've moved about a bit. See if the birds find their favourite ones. We shall see. So, as you can see, we did move a few of the feeders about a bit, and here is why. You can see that we've had some blackbirds that have been going up, and they've been basically hanging on one side of the feeder, so I've moved it around so that it was less easy for them to get to. And we've also surprisingly had, the first day we had a load of these. The long-tailed tits came in. That was on the day that I put these all up, so really happy with that. We've had black caps, great tits, cold tits, blue tits. The Dunnock had a quick go on one of them when it was level with one of the sort of brackets. The blackbird's been up there. We had a carrion crow on there one day. So yeah, it's all in all, it's been doing really well and attracting loads of species. So I think what we'll do now is we will go through what has been done to these balls. Now, as you can see, some of them have been eaten. So let's go through which ones we've got. Number one, this unfortunately broke during all the cold weather. The bracket and the handle broke, so I've had to manufacture something to hang it up. But these ones have been moved about a couple of times, and the top one is the Guardman, and they haven't really been touched. And the bottom are the Armitage Blackcurrant and Apple. The Blackcurrant and Apple, that one's been eaten a little bit, but not a lot. Number two on the green is the Dawn Chorus ones. Now they're doing pretty well, and the peckish ones on the bottom, you can see, have been eaten a little bit. Number three, right, number three, the Johnson and Jeff Superior have disappeared. I will be putting 2 new balls of Johnson and Jeff, the Superior ones, back in there, so that we can keep an eye on the next 2 weeks, keep moving them around and see if they still get eaten, just because that would be a good way of doing it, rather than leaving them empty. The bottom ones are the standard Asda Armitage, and looking at them, there's not a lot been eaten on those at all. Right, another one that's been fairly well eaten is the number one bronze. Now the top ones are the Harvest ones. Now they're doing quite well, so I will probably take these out, both sets, and replace. The bottom ones are the RSPB ones, so they're doing quite well as well. Number 2 bronze is Blue Diamond, have gone, and the standard Glenwood ones, they've been eaten a bit, so that's not bad. Here we have the lime green one, which is B&Q Verve. So they've had a little bit taken off them, but not a lot. And then these are the Johnson and Jeff berry ones. A couple of the long-tailed tits have had a go on this, but they've not really been touched. And the last one is the metal top. Now, originally I said that I thought the Finchleys looked quite good. They've been sort of eaten, but nowhere near what I thought they would do. And the bottom ones are the Tom Chambers mealworm ones. And they've had something have a bit of a go on them, but again, not a lot. So, what I'll do is I will replenish all these and we'll get them back on the feeder and we'll see what we go from there. Right, so there you go, that's them all replenished. The only one I've taken the old ones out of is the bronze number 1. I've taken the old ones out and I've replenished them because both of them were fairly well eaten, and that's the RSPB ones and also the Harvest ones. So yeah, we'll get them hung back up, and while I'm out and about tonight, or today sorry, I shall be looking at the feeders, see if I can get some more photos, see if I can get some video footage over this weekend and next weekend, and we'll try and do exactly the same and post next weekend. If not, it will be all together on the last weekend of February, where we will do an update on how they've been eaten and also a rundown on the pricings, etc., to see which ones are value for money, which ones are being eaten. So yeah, I'm quite surprised at some of these results so far. So we shall see where we go from here. Take care. See you again. Cheers.